Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to walk through the Flight Tracker website and give you an idea of what it's used for and how to use it. So at the very beginning here, we see a search for the flight form. Basically what this website does is it will search for any plane across the world using its Mode S code, which is tied to its tail number. And if you have a Mode S code for any plane, you just put it right in here, hit track, and you'll see it on this map. And this is an interactive embedded map that contains a little icon for every flight that's being tracked. Now, the flights that are tracked are the ones in the Your Flight section here that you customize yourself and are also found farther down on the random flights section here. And so I can take any flight like this one from India, copy it using the copy to clipboard button, and then paste it here, and it should pop up right here and be tracked there. So now when we refresh the page, these two stay, New Zealand and India, and it will randomly generate 15 more flights on here that we can choose to either save or lose when we refresh. This was originally intended to be a celebrity tracking website, but we ran into not only a bunch of privacy issues, but paywalls when it came to tracking celebrity jets, because that information technically is public, but for the privacy of the famous, they put it behind this big old paywall. And so we decided to instead track public flights. So any plane that has a public flight, public tail number, has a Mode S code that can be tracked using the Open Sky network, which we have our credits down here. We have plenty of CSS features on this, including size changing animations. We have hover animations here with underlining, especially with these links too. And these links actually just take you to different parts of the page. And we have some buttons down here. I actually contributed, one of my contributions was the buttons. This one is generated with each templated card. It's the remove button. And this button not only removes this from the page, but it removes its ID number from local storage. So we use local storage to store these flights. And if you take a look here, it has 2 right now on the flights list in local storage. And if I remove one, like India, boop, it removes it from the flight list in local storage. And so that's really useful. If I totally quit out of this page and come back tomorrow, these same flights that I save will be here. That's the beauty of local storage. I also created the copy to clipboard button. It's generated with each one of these, and it will copy to the clipboard the exact Mode S code. So you click copy, it alerts successfully copied. And then you can go up, paste it, and it will join your flights over here. Another thing I contributed was most of the base HTML and CSS for this. I know there isn't much because it's very much a backend application. There was a lot of JavaScript involved with this, but all of this CSS, the hovering, pretty much all of it, the basis I did myself. One thing that I didn't do, but I want to share, is this excellent little loading bar that was not done by me, but I think that's a great example of a good CSS animation and a great place to put it. Another thing I did was data validation. If there's nothing in here, it will say you can't track a flight without a number. And if you try and track a flight that's already been put on your list, it will say this flight is already being tracked. And that will actually prevent us a lot of backend issues because we won't have the same numbers floating around or empty strings or wrong strings. So I contributed that backend or that data validation myself. Another thing was that I contributed was accessing the country of each plane and displaying that nicely along with the call sign and Mode S code. So you can generally see like this plane's in Germany, it must be in Germany, right? Or this plane's in India, look at India there, it's in India. Another thing I did was the header and the links, and I made everything dynamic for large to small content. This is iPad view, and you see how it kind of tightens up. And as it gets closer to cell phone view, you see how the header pops into place there and make sure that it looks good, even down to tiny cell phone view, everything still looks great. And if you notice, I have an auto fit here that the random flights will actually just jam as many as it can and auto update so that there's no overlap and no tiny boxes here. That was another thing that I did myself. And that's the site. If you have any more questions, please take a look at the JavaScript on the GitHub repository. There's plenty there. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.